Welcome to War Bios, the premier podcast exploring the intricacies of military history's most pivotal battles. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're diving into the tumultuous world of the American Civil War to examine the Battle of Fair Oaks, a clash that would prove decisive in the Peninsula Campaign of 1862. This battle, fought on May 31 and June 30, 1862, was a testament to the strategic and tactical complexities of the Civil War, highlighting the importance of adaptability, intelligence, and decisive action on the battlefield. As we delve into the origins of this pivotal battle, it's essential to understand the historical context in which it took place. The Peninsula Campaign, led by Union General George McClellan, aimed to capture the Confederate capital of Richmond, Virginia, and bring a swift end to the war. However, the campaign was marked by a series of delays, missteps, and cautious maneuvers, which ultimately created an opportunity for the Confederates to launch a surprise attack. In the spring of 1862, McClellan's Army of the Potomac had advanced up the Virginia Peninsula, pushing back the Confederate forces under General Joseph E. Johnston. The Union Army had established a strong foothold on the peninsula, with its base at Fort Monroe, and was slowly making its way towards Richmond. However, the Confederates were determined to defend their capital, and Johnston began to shift his troops towards the Chickahominy River, preparing for a potential battle. The landscape itself played a crucial role in the events leading up to the Battle of Fair Oaks. The dense forests, swampy terrain, and winding rivers of the Virginia Peninsula created a complex and challenging environment for military operations. The Chickahominy River, which had swollen from recent rains, became a significant obstacle, making it difficult for troops and supplies to cross. This divide between the two parts of the Union Army created an opportunity for the Confederates to attack one part before the other could come to its aid. As the Confederates assembled near the village of Seven Pines, awaiting the perfect moment to launch their assault, the Union Army was largely unaware of the impending attack. Instead, they focused on preparing for a siege of Richmond and dealing with the logistical challenges posed by the Chickahominy River. The Union commanders, including General Erasmus D. Keyes and General Samuel P. Heintzelman, were confident in their positions and did not anticipate a major Confederate attack. The stage was set for a pivotal battle that would test the mettle of both armies. On May 27, 1862, General Johnston began to shift his troops towards the Chickahominy River, preparing for the impending battle. The Confederates saw an opportunity to strike at the divided Union forces and gain a strategic advantage. The battle would be a testament to the strategic and tactical complexities of the Civil War, highlighting the importance of adaptability, intelligence, and decisive action on the battlefield. The outcome of the Battle of Fair Oaks would have significant implications for the Peninsula Campaign and the larger conflict, influencing the trajectory of the war in profound ways. As the Confederates launched their surprise attack, the Union forces under General Erasmus D. Keyes were initially caught off guard, struggling to respond to the ferocity of the assault. The Confederate troops, led by General James Longstreet and General Daniel H. Hill, pushed forward with reckless abandon, attempting to crush the Union lines and gain a strategic advantage. However, the Union forces, bolstered by the arrival of reinforcements under General Samuel P. Heintzelman, began to stiffen their resistance, and a fierce battle ensued. The fighting raged on for hours, with both sides suffering heavy casualties as they clashed in the dense forests and swampy terrain surrounding the village of Seven Pines. The Union troops, despite being initially caught off guard, managed to hold their ground, thanks in large part to the timely arrival of reinforcements and the bravery of individual soldiers who fought against overwhelming odds. One notable example of courage under fire was the actions of Colonel John Sedgwick, who led his brigade into the fray with a fierce determination that inspired his men to stand firm against the Confederate onslaught. As the battle raged on, Sedgwick's brigade found itself at the epicenter of the fighting, with the Confederates launching repeated assaults in an attempt to break the Union lines. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, the Union troops managed to hold their ground, thanks to the leadership of men like Sedgwick and the bravery of individual soldiers who fought against overwhelming odds. The battle was a testament to the strategic and tactical complexities of the Civil War, highlighting the importance of adaptability, intelligence, and decisive action on the battlefield. As the day wore on, the Confederates began to tire, their attacks becoming increasingly disjointed and ineffective. The Union forces, sensing victory within their grasp, launched a series of counterattacks that pushed the Confederates back and ultimately secured a crucial victory. The Battle of Fair Oaks was a significant turning point in the Peninsula Campaign, marking a decisive shift in momentum in favor of the Union forces. The Confederates had suffered heavy casualties, including the wounding of General Joseph E. Section Johnston, which would have far-reaching consequences for their ability to resist the Union advance. The bravery and determination of individual soldiers, combined with the leadership of men like Sedgwick and Heintzelman, ultimately proved decisive in securing a Union victory. In the immediate aftermath of the battle, both armies regrouped and reassessed their positions. The Confederates, having suffered over 6,000 casualties, including the wounding of General Joseph E. Johnston, were forced to retreat from the battlefield and reestablish their defenses. The Union forces, meanwhile, had suffered over 5,000 casualties, but had secured a crucial victory that would give them momentum in the campaign. The Battle of Fair Oaks had significant repercussions for the Peninsula Campaign. The Confederate defeat led to a shift in their strategy, with General Robert E. Lee assuming command of the Army of Northern Virginia and launching a series of counterattacks against the Union forces. The 7 days battles, which took place from June 25 to July 1, 1862, saw the Confederates launch a series of attacks against the Union Army, ultimately forcing them to retreat from the outskirts of Richmond. Despite the Confederate victory in the 7 days battles, the Battle of Fair Oaks had set in motion a chain of events that would ultimately lead to the fall of Richmond. The Union Army, under the command of General George McClellan, had come close to capturing the city, and the Confederates were forced to divert significant resources to defend their capital. The Battle of Fair Oaks also had a lasting impact on the soldiers who fought in it. Many of those who survived the battle would go on to fight in other bloody conflicts, including the Battle of Antietam and the Battle of Gettysburg. The bravery and sacrifice of the soldiers who fought at Fair Oaks would be remembered for generations to come, serving as a testament to the horrors and heroism of the American Civil War. In the years that followed the battle, the site of the conflict would become a place of pilgrimage for veterans and civilians alike. In 1866, a group of Union veterans returned to the battlefield to erect a monument in honor of their fallen comrades. Today, the Fair Oaks battlefield is preserved as part of the Richmond National Battlefield Park, serving as a reminder of the sacrifices made by soldiers on both sides of the conflict. The battle marked a significant shift in momentum in favor of the Union forces and set in motion a chain of events that would ultimately lead to the fall of Richmond and the defeat of the Confederacy. The bravery and determination of individual soldiers, combined with the leadership of men like Colonel John Sedgwick and General Samuel P. Heintzelman, ultimately proved decisive in securing a Union victory at Fair Oaks. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.